What's up and what's good, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at how to replace the watch battery in your Bulova Precisionist wristwatch. Let's get into it. What's up guys, it's Sean with 614 Inc. Reviews and How-Tos coming at you today with a real quick tutorial on how to replace the battery in your Bulova Precisionist watch. Now I'm making this video because if you're like me, you have a dead battery in your Precisionist wristwatch. And I personally looked on YouTube and I couldn't find one video that was halfway decent on how to do this procedure. So there's tons of different Precisionist models. You can see the one I have here. And as I was watching these videos on YouTube, what I noticed with it was there are tons of different internal configurations. Before we start, if you are new to replacing a watch, I'm not going to spend too much time on how to get the back cover off of the watch. Hopefully, if you're taking on this procedure on a watch of this caliber, you do have some type of working knowledge. If you don't, this is a watch back removal tool. They can be purchased on Amazon or eBay. This adjusts these two, and by rotating this handle, adjust this. All you're gonna do is find the notches on the back of the casing. You see one here, find the appropriate adapter. These black pieces pull out. On this particular watch, I needed the square adapter. There's a circle one, there's a funky shape one. Like I say, you find the appropriate one that fits. You adjust it so that it fits inside and you just open it up. There's also a stress ball trick that you can use. You just take a squishy stress ball and push really hard and twist using that, and it provides enough grip to remove the back. So anyways, not spending too much time on that. Once you've removed the back of your watch, and again, I've already started this procedure because I wanted to figure it out on my own before I could share it with you. You are going to need to remove this panel here. And how you're going to do that is, let me reinstall it. There is the tiniest of set screws, and I have mine out right here on this bottom tab where that hole is. Here is the actual screw itself. It's so small my camera's probably not even going to pick it up. It is micro. Even though I have it on this magnetic small screwdriver here, straight head, I wasn't even able to use the straight head screwdriver to actually get in the head of the screw to remove it. I actually had to take like my wife's eyebrow tweezers and grab it and just gradually spin it, and once I broke it loose, I then took the screwdriver, because the head of my screwdriver, as small as it is, still wouldn't fit in the head of this screw, and I just kind of poked at it and manually spun it loose. Once you spin it loose, make sure that your screwdriver, like mine, is magnetized so that it actually grips onto it. But once you spin it loose, the back of this cover here, sorry about the glare, right there, sinks into the internal housing of the watch. You just kind of pop it loose and expose the battery. Once you've done so, removing the battery, which is a CR 2016, there's absolutely nothing to it. You put your new battery in, and this is going to be the tricky part here, because this, believe it or not, this battery wants to eject itself. If I let go, it's going to pop out. So this housing here, which is literally held into place by that tiny little micro straight head screw, really does actually hold this battery into position. And so if you can see on the back here again, that little notch and this little piece of this backing goes into this notch, and then you, bear with me here, I'm trying to film as I'm working to give you guys good angles. Put the case back on it, and then you can see the hole right here where we are going to have to thread our micro straight head back into position. And so I'm going to do that here on camera. We're going to do a time lapse because this is going to take forever. But my game plan is to kind of knock this screw free so that the head is, and I'm going to use the back of the watch here to catch it because it's so small. I've got my watch on a microfiber. I would probably lose it in the fibers. So I magnetized it so that the screw threads are pointing down and I have the head. And now I'm just going to manually set the screw into the hole. So there, I manually set the screw into the hole. I used my fingernail to knock it free from the screwdriver. I'm using my fingernail now to start the threading process. Even my fingernail is too big for the tip of that micro screw. So I'm literally just trying to manually use my fingernail and start the threading process. I've just made about 2 full turns. I'd like to try and get 3 if possible, just so that I know it's threaded down enough to let go of this watch with my left finger here. So that's about 2.5 turns. And so you can see I started it enough now to where it's not going to pop out because it's threaded into position. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this straight head I have now, and as I said, manually spin that thing as many times as I possibly can, just until it's snug. I know it's kind of an archaic process, but you can see that it worked. You know, that is just a really small straight head screw that you've got to work with there. But if you just have some patience and a little bit of you know, skill with working with small objects like this, then you know it is definitely doable. And so again, you know, I hope this helps you guys out, because I didn't really have a good video to go off of. Like I say, I watched one video where the guy's, you know, the description was how to replace the battery on your Bulova Precisionist watch, and then at the end of the video, after removing the back, he's like, so you know, you guys are just gonna have to figure it out on your own. What kind of tutorial is that? And so, you know, I clearly demonstrated here that this screw needs to be removed, this backing plate needs to be taken off, you put the battery back in, you put this clip of the backing plate back into that little notch in the internal mechanisms of the watch, and then you know, take a magnetic screwdriver, grab the screw so the threads are pointing down, put it in the hole, use the fingernail of your opposite hand to push it down in the hole so that you're able to remove the screwdriver. And then once you've done that, like I say, I just took my fingernail and just manually spun it 2.5 to 3 times so that it started threading into the hole, and I'm still able to spin it more. So I would maybe, you know, before letting go of that backing plate, just so that it doesn't spring up and throw your screw out, spin it as many times as you can so that it isn't able to be spun anymore. And then once you've done that, you know, that's about as tight as you're going to be able to get it, unless you have a really small screwdriver. But I hope that helps you guys out. The last thing you're going to do, obviously, is put the back of the watch back on and tighten it up with your tool or your stress ball. And so, sorry that I didn't have better camera angles, but that is the procedure. It did work, and it's more than what I found on YouTube. So, hope it helps. See ya.